Yo, YouTube, what up, baby? All right. All the vibes high. And I know you'll be the death for me, Elisa.
I might get a ticket tonight. Trying to make it to your crib. I might even lose my license. The way I'm driving, baby. Please bow for me. Your two lips on my face. You gon' be my blessing tonight. So keep your eyes right. I'm doing 65 and I'm 40, hoping that I don't get spotted. This ain't no DUI, just wanna take a stride through your garden. Your garden. Your Check the window, I'm not outside. Come down and let me in. Forbidden fruit all on my mind. You greet me with a kiss, baby. Sweet grace, blueberry, I swear.
All right, enough of that before we get copyrighted. Experience.
We brought together 7 straight men.
I am a straight man. I'm straight.
I am a straight man.
So
I'm straight.
convincing,
I am a straight man. I'm straight. I'm a
So
straight
convincing.
man.
One is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, he or she wins the entire prize.
Raise your hand if you've had a girlfriend.
Are you sexually attracted to men? No, but
You take too
I can
long for
appreciate a
that,
good
buddy.
man. Okay, that makes sense. You have a wedding ring?
That,
I do. When did you get married?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Okay, all right. What's your wife's name?
Stephanie.
Do you guys believe that?
Right off the bat, Jonathan
Good job.
kind of went after me because I had a wedding ring. But guys, who here has kissed a dude or been kissed by a dude?
I've been kissed by a dude.
I've kissed a dude.
Yes, I've been kissed by a dude.
Who here has
Wait,
kissed
what?
a dude and liked it?
pause. No, pause. What? No. This one. That's crazy.
What's up, good humans? Welcome to another
Apologize. This new
episode.
side of
This is the
stream,
show
guys.
Odd Men Out, where your judgments are thrown out the window.
Episode
Make sure you stick
one,
around to the end
the
because we want to
first,
give more
and the
connects and we're
most
going to give it to
original.
the most insightful comments.
Yes.
Stick around for the rules at the end. The rules at the end.
Enjoy the episode.
Does anyone have a name for their genitalia?
Who?
What do you call yours? What do you call yours? Harris.
We brought
Yo, Pete, that'll tell you a lot. Huh.
together 7 non-virgins.
I am not a virgin.
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 1 is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, he or she wins the entire prize.
Okay, guys. I say we just start asking questions and everyone answers.
I agree.
Does anyone have a name for their genitalia?
Who?
My initial thought was Sean.
Okay,
He seemed
don't
too
remember.
confident, too talkative. Let's go around the circle.
All right.
Let's figure it out.
I feel no. like this isn't a good use of our time.
not a good
Okay, let's try this. Ready?
What do you call yours? Harris.
Okay, Harris.
Okay, when did everyone lose their virginity? Age.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
19.
12.
Hold on.
Huh?
Okay.
12? Yeah, it was on MySpace.
What? It was on my.
We don't have time for the we don't have time for the story.
Okay. I feel like everyone wanted to control the situation. We weren't getting anywhere. When was the last time you guys had sex?
That was crazy.
2 days ago.
3 days.
I
Last
never
night.
asked
It's
if
been
you
3
on
weeks. We got nowhere.
Since April?
We've covered no
What about
ground.
you?
What about you? Wait, no, you didn't answer the question.
I said recently.
Recently.
There's barely enough time to introduce ourselves, let alone vote someone out. I didn't feel like she was telling the truth, or maybe she was just nervous.
Good luck, you guys. I hope you made the right choice.
I don't think we did.
What? Natisha?
No, I trusted you.
I was shocked. I definitely thought it was going to be Jonathan. Or Emily.
I don't think at first glance I look like a virgin.
If everyone feels confident that you already caught the mole, you can end the game now. Raise your hand if you have doubt and you would like to continue the game.
Okay, so when you lost your virginity, how did it go down?
High school, both virgins, didn't know what the hell we were doing.
What was the first letter of her first name?
J.
That was quick.
Like a Roman
Okay, I'm a
imposter.
late bloomer, so I lost mine at 21.
Where?
I worked at a movie theater, and
Okay.
he was my coworker, so kind of scandalous.
What about you? What about you?
Her name was Harmony, and
How'd you guys meet?
MySpace.
MySpace.
You next.
I was 14. It lasted about
Holy
2
shit.
minutes.
So I was 16.
16.
Lost to a girl named
Tyler, you got yours. You got one from you. That's my Instagram.
Stacy
I'm real late.
Stacy.
in the back of my Volvo.
I was also a late bloomer. I believe I was in college.
And how did you lose it? Like, where was it at?
In my apartment / dorm. It wasn't. I lived off.
Very questionable.
I lived off
Okay, yeah.
campus, so not a dorm.
How many people have you
Pretty
slept
believable.
with?
Oh gosh.
Body count time.
Under 10.
It's the virgin thing, not the body count.
Well, we're just trying to figure it out.
We're just trying to figure it out. All right, so rough body count.
I know, it's 3, because it's not that many. Between like 30 and like 70, somewhere around there.
What about you, MySpace?
Maybe 100 or something. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Nearly 100.
Like. How do you jump from 30 to 70? Like, remember, your number is respectful. Your number is you. Like, bruh, you can't jump from 30 to 70. Like, we're so far apart.
100.
I'm 25 years old. I'm old man.
I don't know that I'd buy 100.
Look at his neck right now.
how
Look
did
at
you get this? Yeah,
this.
what is that?
I got it.
We want to know.
you come to this shoot with this, like,
That is
but it could
and
also
over
be a
100.
trick
And
where
over
it's
100.
like,
Over 100, naming his genitals. Because he was playing the game so hard, I was like, maybe he like really did come to win to the point of giving himself a fake hickey.
okay,
Okay,
so
okay,
who's
so-
in a relationship?
Who's in a relationship?
Big hickey screw.
Yes. Oh,
How long have you been together?
a few months.
A few
Okay.
months? How long is a few months? Like 6 months?
No less.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
I'm gone. Oh, you do think it's me?
I just like figured that maybe get rid of the guy with the pony T-shirt.
Oh no, like 100%. Like it's so obvious that it's like, yo, is it?
If it's obvious, we have to take it.
I think so.
We have to remove it.
Honestly, though, I'm kind of flattered. I didn't want to be too defensive about like, no, I'm not a virgin, just because I'm kind of like, it's okay if you are.
What's the craziest place you guys have had sex?
I want to say like in an elevator.
Yeah, like an obstacle course on my college campus, like one of those rope course
Dang,
things.
man, you went from 0 to 100.
It's like- the bed?
The bed. It's a great one.
Leaning with
You
you
never
too.
went outside the bed.
Mm-mm. Maybe one day. Guys.
Oh, that could be like the sleeper in the dark.
It's kind of like a hive mentality. You just want to be safe and do whatever it takes.
Oh man, good luck, guys. I had a different shirt. I was told that this shirt worked fine. I feel like that may have contributed, but also maybe don't judge people by the shirts that they choose to wear.
What's everyone's favorite aspect of sex? What do you guys like the most about sex?
I like the
Foreplay?
That's a real
like,
answer.
at the end of the day,
It's a real answer.
he said the foreplay.
Right.
Yeah, foreplay is a real answer.
Shirt that me, actual people. This is not anime con. Well, it does you still, of course. You still.
Ending's a real answer. I say the intimacy, the middle.
Time of place.
Oh, you're a lover. So I mean, that's how. Hey, that's sweet, bro. It's like not the destination for you. It's the journey. Exactly.
The intimacy, yeah, with someone you love, and that's who you trust and who I would want to have sex with.
And how long have you been with your current boyfriend?
6 months.
How long were you single before that?
Oh, I had another boyfriend from the movie theater, but we broke up.
That was a
And
movie
then-
theater boyfriend.
And then I had a one-night stand.
So that was
and
the
then
3.
found my
That was the
current
total of
boyfriend.
3. Yeah, I mean that's actually believable.
Yeah.
I mean that is.
Since you referenced like the
But like
movie theater
statistically,
thing.
if we eliminated her, we'd make more money. I was kind of just playing game theory at that point.
I've been the most transparent here, just saying.
We've all been
Oh,
transparent.
well,
Come on.
I'd rather be in a relationship than just have sex with anyone.
Good for you, but that didn't change my mind.
Yeah, we're gonna lose anyway.
In the back of my mind, I was stereotyping them by the way that they dressed and acted.
I kind of just de facto got everybody to kick out all the introverted people because I thought it was a good game plan, but maybe that was kind of messed up.
Fuck you, Nick.
The bowl's still there. Good luck.
Emily, you're showing discontent in the group. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're
That's
teaming
cool.
up.
No, I want to ask you more
It looks
questions,
like a
and I want to
team
ask
up.
you more questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Jolie, she like winked and then forgot to open her eye back up.
I think so.
Like, yo,
You
listen,
said 3 in, hold on, you said 3 in the last 2 weeks, but
So I went to Palm Springs 2 weeks ago, and then 2 days ago, I had sex with someone. Sean and I did team up. We just kind of like looked at each other. And we're just like,
I hear that.
Yeah.
they're teaming up.
no. I want to ask you more
It looks
questions,
like a
and I want to
team
ask
up.
you more questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Jolie, she like winked and then forgot to open her eye back up.
I think so.
Like, yo, listen,
3 in, hold on, you said 3 in the last 2 weeks, but
So I went to Palm Springs 2 weeks ago, and then 2 days ago, I had sex with someone. Sean and I did team up. We just kind of like looked at each other. And we're just like, okay. We kind of knew that we were safe.
I think he could potentially still be the mole.
all right. Let's ask questions.
Were you religious too before you had sex?
Yeah.
So if I called your mom right now and I was like, he's had sex a few times.
She probably already thinks I do. I mean, I've never told her I've had
Right.
sex. You know what I
You
mean?
said you were 19.
You're a grown ass man. You know, conversation just never came up.
When you lost?
But you feel forest water kills me. But as a parent, you're gonna feel that you chose your fucking thing. Then again, I didn't say everybody's doing what
No, 16.
16.
as a dad, I still gonna expect make sure when you get certain age and thing, give me. He open it, straight up there. Inside, outside, everywhere. Sound what?
Okay.
Yeah, back of the Volvo.
What color was the Volvo, by the way?
It was gold.
It was
Tannish gold.
You mean like yellow?
Like tannish.
As far as the Volvo, did you have like padding in there, or was it just
No,
like,
man.
ooh, you were hurt?
Just to see. It wasn't the greatest experience.
Like it is.
I didn't, yeah.
What was the body part that hurt most after you finished?
It was definitely my knee because it was on like the little, the little
That's
buckle.
all correct. That's all correct right
It was bad business, man. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, no, okay, that's all
like,
correct. Where's your first time?
Where?
Yeah.
It was in a bed in the guy's house that we were at, and his parents were gone.
Did you say 30 to 70, 18?
Yeah. Yep.
The math seems off.
I think if you said like
Okay,
10
I'm not-
to 15,
Yeah,
I
but that's the
believe you,
truth.
but
That's up there, especially like for an 18-year-old. I'm not here to judge anybody or anything like that, but she could be coming in here trying to be like, I'm the coolest.
she's saying a big number. She's young. Therefore, I believe it, because if she was coming in here as the mole, she'd be like, oh, like maybe like 10. I think she's safe. And that Volvo story about your knees, that makes sense.
We haven't asked you in a while.
I'm a sex symbol.
Wait. wait. This man don't save me. We can say we haven't asked you in a while. Huh.
Okay, well, all right, he's good there.
We got a solid.
25, how old are you?
27.
Yeah.
18, 30. I don't know,
That's
bro. Like I like numbers,
Ask me
bro.
anything.
I needed to like sway one of them. So I was thinking like Trevor was the mole. Okay, we'll just go with Emmanuel for now, but he wasn't budging.
I don't think he has a beard with like earrings and a tattoo and is
Oh,
a
yeah.
virgin.
You
I
know
don't
what?
think.
He didn't throw me in the fire. It's kind of like, you know what, you're cool. You didn't throw me in. Me and Emmanuel started kind of indirectly teaming up too, like telepathically.
You think, Sean?
He brought the hickey, which is probably like a bottle cap he just put on his neck.
Oh, that's a bottle cap, bro? Tell me that's a bottle cap right now.
Can I touch it to confirm?
Something.
This man brought proof.
No.
That's
More like
a really
Costello.
yeah.
I realized, it's kind of hard to recreate that, so I thought it was real, but I
Can't
thought it was a
drink.
little scripted.
I know it's not you. I'm not even gonna question that. Yeah, those numbers, bro.
It's
I'm sorry.
Not me. It's not.
I know for a fact it's
Those
not
numbers,
her.
Yeah.
bro.
Honestly, I knew that Sean had my back. No matter what, it would have been 2v2.
There's been a tie. In the event of a tie, we do a revote. The two people who have tied are Jolie and Trevor.
You gotta trust me, you gotta trust me. You're a smart guy. Come on, you got glasses. I can tell.
It's gonna be the same.
It was obvious that Sean and Jolie were gonna vote Trevor off and then try and get me off.
There's another tie.
Can we just say that we're done?
Yeah, can we just say we're done? Yeah, I think the mole is probably out, but I was just trying to make more money, so.
Raise your hand if you want to end the game.
Let's just end it. I love all you guys.
If the light turns green, you voted the liar.
What y'all think, chat? If y'all think the mole's still there, comment any more. You get this worrying about. If y'all think that the mole get kicked out, put a 1 in chat.
Out. If the light turns red, the mole is still in the game, and you lose.
What, bro?
God, it was him.
Was it you?
It was him.
It was you stinky boy. Damn.
Oh my.
Sorry, Trevor.
Most people don't expect me to be a virgin, and unless asked, I don't say anything.
I get it. It's the game.
Survival of the fittest, so I understand.
I think he's a sociopath.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It
Hey,
did not pick
don't
up Trevor.
judge a book by its cover. You really never know.
So I'm still
Chat,
a virgin
are we
because
racist?
I'm waiting for marriage. I grew
Chat,
up in
are
the
we
church.
racist?
Sex is a covenant between me, God, and my future wife. I just made that promise to myself and my family and to God that I would wait until marriage. Oh, so like, whoa, it's like cash.
Can I have
Get that money.
My walk of shame.
Oh yeah,
My money walk of shame.
it's great money.
It smells like
I'm just gonna.
like paper.
Group hug, come on.
Fuck you.
Yo, what's up, good humans? Thanks for watching. Before you comment on episode ideas, we have an even better idea of what you can comment below. That's right. We want to gift crew next to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to be reading through all the comments and we're going to choose our 3 most favorite mind-blowing, insightful, mind-blowing comments. We're going to choose them and we'll gift you a crew neck.
As always,
What's up, good humans?
What we have some new merch for you guys. The store closes tomorrow, so check the link in the description box below. And
the core foundation of those companies
Look at my eyes.
is very different than the core
gay?
foundation of what he has towards women, because they're more feminist, they're more men are, making men weaker, all that stuff. But if these things are getting this many eyeballs, maybe what it's saying is the market is sitting around saying, dude, we've been waiting for this for a while. And like, the market wants to kind of have somebody talk. It doesn't mean it's true or not. But hey, maybe it's what we're thinking about. Maybe it's what a lot of people are thinking about. And that makes some people uncomfortable to say, no, like the other day, the one of my kids, they were watching a movie without my permission, and there was a scene in it. And my 8-year-old, my 10-year-old, we had to have the conversation about, gays, lesbians, all this other stuff. I kind of shared with you how I had a conversation with them. When the moment I had this conversation, Jen walked out. She's like, babe, this is you like to have these types of thoughts. I don't want to have these. You and the 2 boys. I sat down and I gave them every possible visual they could get. said, this is what's going on. And in many cases, people who are not teaching this because their father figure's not in it, we have to have this talk. You know what's crazy? As much as I did not want to have that conversation at that point, I love the fact that I was forced to have it because I'm able to get ahead of it so I can control the point of contact and say, here's, boys, what you're going to be facing. A boy's going to come to you and tell you this. This is going to be happening. When it does, this is what we do as a David family. So going back to you, if the algorithms are favoring a person who they don't support his arguments, because most of these virtual governments are more feminist, left, all that stuff, why do you think your messaging got so viral?
Well, this is the interesting thing, because I didn't put a magic spell on the world. I'm not a magician. You're right. There's obviously a market for what I say. People talk about how I became the most viral person on the planet. I'll argue the point. Not only did I become the most viral person on the planet, I did it while being heavily shadow banned. They known about me for a while. They've been trying to shut me up for a while. I've been shadow banned forever. So I became the most viral person on the planet with all the algorithms working against me. Unlike people like Logan who have all the algorithms working for them, against me. Because I'm resonating with people who are sitting there going, finally, this makes sense to me. This is how I feel inside. And this guy's finally talking about it. Everything else I consume is telling me to do things that just don't resonate with my truth. I'm only saying things that people agree with. So to chop my head off and try and delete me is asinine in and of itself, because there are billions of people out there, millions of people out there who feel the exact same way. This is what I was saying earlier, because, and once again, I'm assuming the social media companies have intellect and people who work for them who are intelligent. If they were smart, if I was a social media company, I would have come to me and said, listen, I would have had a board meeting and said, controlled opposition. And I would have come to me and said, Andrew, you have to correct your message. I don't want to delete you. You don't want to be censored. You have to say this way, this way, today. And slowly, perhaps, taper me down on certain subjects. That would have been smart.
You think if they would have come to you and said, listen, we've been following you, buddy.
And I would also talk to them and say, listen, I understand I'm now the most viral person on the planet. I have to take responsibility for the things I say. The way I say things for a video that gets 300 views is different than the way I say things for a video that gets 3 million views. I respect that. Let's have a conversation. I'm not a loose cannon. I'm a logical actor. They could have done that, but they were emotional. Instead, they martyred me, chopped my head off. But that doesn't change anything, because there's millions and millions and millions of young men who think the same way I think. There are millions of young men out there who don't want to wear makeup, who don't want to put on a Pokemon suit and be a clown like Logan Paul, who don't want to take transgender blocking drugs, who don't want to assign themselves to any kind of feminist ideals, who don't want to chop their dick off, who just want to grow up, go to the gym, get strong, be respected, make money, have a beautiful girl and a sports car. There's millions of men who want that. And I speak to those men, and most men want that. And they think by chopping my head off, those men are going to want something else, because they'll get rid of me and they'll put James Charles in front of them and say, no, foundation reviews. It ain't going to work. They don't want foundation reviews. It's not what they want. And it's truly crazy. They think that's going to work in and of itself at all.
You don't think it's going to work?
I think I've proven that it's not going to work. What's actually the most upsetting is this. I find it extremely hypocritical, and of all the things in the world, my pet peeves, the things that annoy me most are hypocrites. I find it extremely hypocritical that the system itself pretends it gives a shit about men's mental health. It will sit there and pretend it cares about all the men out there who are depressed, struggling, sad. But when I come along and tell them the only way I've ever found personally to be happy and contented, because I can only talk my personal story, is to become a man of status, to become successful, to go through pain, to use my trauma, to use the bad things that happened to me, to galvanize myself against attacks from the Matrix, as I've just proven I can easily weather. When I talk about men's mental health, they delete me. I thought you gave a shit about men's mental health. I'm the most popular man on the planet, and 90% of my content is not even about women. It's motivational and antidepressive. And you're going to sit here and delete me saying that I'm bad for women. What about men? I thought you gave a shit. All of a sudden, you don't give a fuck anymore, right? Just delete him. Who cares? I had a man message me. A man emailed me saying that he was going to kill himself. I get about 10,000 emails a week. I don't answer all of them, but I answer some of them. This guy, his email was so short that I believed him. The subject was, I'm going to kill myself. The thing is, I know you won't reply. I'm going to kill myself. I don't know what to do. That was the email. And I sat there and said, listen, my friend, I get a lot of emails. I don't know how serious you are. I want you to make me a promise. I'm going to guess that you're not in the best physical condition you can be in. I want you to make me a promise. You're going to get a six-pack first. Send me a picture of you with a six-pack. If you still feel like killing yourself after that, I don't know you. I can't tell you what to do. But I want you to get a six-pack first. Email me back. Start going back and forth, etc., etc. I convinced him to get the gym and said, get a six-pack, see how you feel. If you still feel like killing yourself, then I'm not telling you to kill yourself. I'm telling you that's what I would recommend. Started training. By the time he started sending me physique updates, of him in a better condition, he started sending me huge emails of apology and thank you, saying, you saved my life. I can't believe I was thinking of killing myself. You can't believe you changed. If that man would have emailed Logan Paul, would Logan Paul have given a fuck? Would have ignored the guy? You think he answers a single fucking email? He doesn't give a shit. All these fucking media figures, all these people who are good for the system, who are dancing on the devil and fucking sitting here talking about dangerous rhetoric and all the other bullshit, you think they'd fucking answer an email? They don't give a solitary fuck about the young men of the world. They would have left that man to die. And even if they would reply to him, what advice would they give? Go take antidepressants and watch my YouTube. They have no value to give the guy because they've never had a life of actual genuine struggle. I'm out here genuinely saving lives, genuinely saying to men, the world you now live in is so competitive that if you're not a competitive male, you're going to be perma-depressed. You don't have a mental disease. You're just in a competitive environment and you are losing. You need to become a competitive person. There's no easy way. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. But if you get to Top G, the name, if you get there, it's a life worth living. That's what I'm saying. And then millions of young men are going, wow, he's showing that you can be born from nothing, single parent on a fucking council estate in the worst town in England, be stabbed, come from nothing, and survive and end up with a multi-millionaire. Maybe I can do it if I work hard and I'm diligent and I try hard and I'm really giving hope to the world. And then they delete me. Then they put up a new thing about men's mental health, saying which pill they should take. And then they put James Charles on the algorithm. This shit's evil. It's genuinely criminal. I'm nothing but a positive force for the world. And this is what I was talking earlier about the hero's arc and the redemption, because I think that inside of human consciousness, people are very, very familiar with the idea of the arc of a villain turning into a hero. It's in the Bible. It's in every superhero movie. The guy starts off bad. He's crazy. He's too bad. We don't want him. He's a maverick. He can't control him, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe in it. I don't want to believe in things that make me weak. And if these companies have any degree of professionalism, they're analyzing this in real time and they're understanding that this makes us look very bad. People didn't believe the lie. People didn't believe what we attempted to smear this man with. Nobody's buying this narrative. And this is going to have a negative effect on us for a very, very long time, because when you're in charge of the world, which they are, as soon as you're no longer seen as just and fair, you're seen as tyrannical. And once you're seen as tyrannical, then there's going to be some kind of mass movement against you. So if I was a social media executive, I would sit and I would analyze the data and I would say, listen, guys, we will have a monopoly. We want to retain our monopoly. Let's be smart here. Being known as tyrannical amongst the public consciousness across the entire planet is going to make it very difficult for us to hold our monopoly for a longer period of time, as opposed to being seen to be fair. Even if we're biased, we must be seen as fair. Sure. As soon as we're seen as tyrannical, that's when the revolution. Look at Ceausescu. As soon as you're tyrant, that's when everyone hits the streets. Yep. So I think that if they have any kind of serious data monitoring and if they have any kind of serious business professionalism, they are now talking in dark rooms, understanding that this has played out very badly for them. And if they intend on keeping their monopoly into the future, then they need to change something. Maybe I'm being optimistic.
Who was the first one to take you off?
Meta.
Meta was first. So
Meta.
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. And then it was a domino effect.
Yeah, so Meta took me down. So it's quite interesting, actually. I had a YouTube channel for a while. It was never so large. I had 738,000 subscribers. It took me a long time to build it up. I got a strike on YouTube, which prevented me from posting. Got a strike. No big deal. The next day, Meta took me down, deleted my Facebook and my Instagram. The press came out at exactly the same time, in sync, saying that I'm a misogynistic, dangerous person, that I'm harmful, that I am the reason that the world is not a perfect place, world hunger, you name it, all my fault. Attacked me across all.
Shall you ever just think that laws just like because we got like realize that most laws is coming to play like the terms and service of an app. Your fault is comply or you don't get the ads if you install TikTok. Instagram had it earlier, it had so many cache the cookies and things, so when they update it by iOS. So all these things here is really come together, but you don't really think about it. Most
All of
people
this,
don't
and I
think
thought, okay, let me film a message that I can get out on my YouTube, my final message, which I don't know if you guys have seen, I ended up putting on freetalkg.com.
You got no.
Let me film my final message explaining how this is unfair and
no
unjust.
freedom of speech.
We
on
filmed
there.
it, we
As long as
produced
you
it, we
can
got it all
meet your
edited within 12
parameters.
hours, had
You
ready
need
to
to
go,
say you
but we
don't
couldn't
want to be
post it
on
because
the
the
app.
YouTube strike. So we're waiting for the YouTube strike to expire. A few
Can't be
hours
on the
before
app.
the YouTube
And
strike
the sad
expires,
thing
guess
is,
what
like,
happened?
you can
They
even
banned
realize
it.
it
They
back
banned
with
it.
Trump. Even if you don't like Trump,
Then they
back when he banned first get start all then drop it at once. Separate companies, but all at the same time. I think the same time frame. You think about it? You think about it?
banned me from Discord. Then they
To me, that's suspect. I don't know what you think. Think what you think, but this is what you think.
banned me from Airbnb. They banned me from Stripe. They banned. I can't even remember. It was just emails coming in faster than you could believe. Ban.
So
the
was it
Matrix.
just the socials?
Oh no, the Matrix presses a button, my friend, and
Yeah.
every app on your phone stops working. Uber. You name it. Uber.
Stop.
You name it.
Wait, you can't use Uber?
Well, I can use Uber. You just start a new account, right? But
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Uber. Catch me. But
But
yeah,
your main account on Uber was taken.
they take everything.
Everything. Coordinated effort all at once.
Coordinated effort all at once. Every single one of them just goes no. Delete, and they come at you and they come at you with everything.
And
Banking,
Stripe.
banks,
Payment processor.
and banks, UK-based banks as well. High Street
Makes you wonder
banks.
just how much
I
they
can
have
name
control over you.
Santander,
You don't know.
HSBC, Barclays, etc. All at the same
Massive.
time.
Yeah, so
no,
yeah.
sorry, the change
For
we
most
decided
of it,
because
'cause
blah
he
blah,
can
some
do
bullshit,
whatever
some
he
letter,
wants.
close your accounts. So they
Money
take all
comes
your
to
banking, they take your
affluence,
payment
comes to
processing, they take all your social media presence,
powers
they take
and
your Discord, they take your
abilities.
Skype, they take all your accounts, your ability to communicate with people, and then they lie about you in the press. And they leave you there. they leave you there to suffer. They attempt
On one
to
hand,
harm
you can
you.
understand the social component. All right, these guys are probably all working in unison.
Yeah.
But when you hear payment processors, banks, apps like Uber, how are you processing that?
No, I mean, that's why he has to do something about it. Because, for me, there's plenty of great lawyers. Did you hear about what happened with Alex Brenison lately?
Alex
Did you follow-
Berenson?
Alex. Is
Yeah,
it Alex?
Berenson. The writer?
Alex Berenson, I think
I heard he sued Twitter or something. I don't know.
He sued Twitter. Did you follow the story?
I don't know the exact story. No.
So he was on Joe Rogan. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend you watch this. So he is saying things about Twitter. Matter of fact, the tweet that got him in trouble, got him his 5th strike, was the following tweet. We can put this up there because I'm just reading what he said. This is a tweet he put out that he said, "It doesn't stop infection or transmission. Don't think of it as a vaccine. Think of it as, at best, a therapeutic with a limited window of efficacy and terrible side effects profile that must be dosed in advance of illness, and we want to mandate it. Insanity." That's his tweet. So he gets banned.
That's sweet chat for it does not.
That's to me.
Yeah.
In December of last year, which
Forget
was
what
6
I own.
months after when Biden said anybody who allows debate of vaccine should be banned or shouldn't be allowed, meaning that there shouldn't be any of that. So 6 months after that, he gets banned. In April, a judge in California is, believe it or not, a very big freedom of speech place because they allow protesting. A judge that was appointed by Bill Clinton comes in and says, "I'm allowing this to go through," because typically Section 230 that is in place in 1998 was to protect social media sites and many of these online sites that if you offend your ex-wife or if you offend your brother, it has nothing to do with Facebook. So they kind of protected themselves. But Alex was able to go all the way because of this court, the judge that was appointed by Clinton, not Obama or Trump, but by Clinton. He goes in. Eventually, he says, you get to have 2 people from Twitter to come to court to defend themselves. So he could have gone to Jack Dorsey. Long story short, they finally lifted it. He is on Twitter, and he's posting heavily, talking about the fact the reason why he got banned is because the government didn't want him on inciting what he was inciting. So the moral of the story is, when you say something like that, for someone like you seem like you're a methodical guy. You're a chess guy. Your dad's a chess person. 5-time United Armed Force champion, 5 times, 6 times Indiana State. You were playing at 5 years old against 16-year-olds. You don't play chess without being strategic, thinking about your next few moves.
Correct.
So if you don't do anything and bring lawyers in To the market, it'll be a lot of people who are in the mob. To the market, it sounds like they're right.
Absolutely.
But if you do and you defend yourself, you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for others who maybe don't have your kind of resources to say,
correct,
hey, this guy's willing to stand up. He kind of helped change the law for me.
Correct.
Because the one case, it was the Sikhs against Facebook. That's the case that helped them out. India, years ago, they don't like this Facebook group that had Sikhs. It was a Sikh Facebook page. So India told Facebook to take them off. Facebook took them off. Then Sikhs sued Facebook. That became the precedence.
Nice.
So somebody like you can potentially set the new one against Section 230.
Absolutely. I certainly have legal options being explored. And I don't want to say too much on the podcast, but legal options are certainly being explored. We'll see how things progress across the next few weeks. But I have a very strong suspicion I will end up back on the media platforms, or they will offer them back to me. The question now at this point is if I even want them, which is a unique question, because a lot of people still believe that you can only have a significant presence in the world with these social media platforms. That's the source of their power. I believe there's huge pressure behind the dam in regards to the fact that everybody understands that these places are tyrannical and that they control ideas and that they force narratives. And I use my wording as the Matrix. I call them the Matrix. And people say to me, why do you call them the Matrix? And I say, because they project a false version of reality in real time that people subscribe to. If there wasn't an absolute blacklist on all opposing views during COVID-19, that bullshit would never have gone on for as long as it did. It went on for as long as it did, and they managed to purport a false version of reality for so long because you couldn't discuss the opposing side. We just talked about our friend here who got banned for saying something very sensible and logical. So when you get huge media companies that can literally alter reality in real time by deleting the other side of an argument, they're creating a matrix, is what I like to call it. So I call them the source of the matrix. So people understand this, and there's huge pressure behind the dam, but the problem is people say, well, what's the alternative? And I think if someone could pave the way and put a crack in the dam by maintaining massive relevancy despite of a ban, and still having a social media platform and presence which is respected on other platforms, I think it's going to do them significant damage. I think the pressure and the crack together is going to create something monumental. And already I've moved to Rumble. I only had 738,000 subscribers on my YouTube after 5 years of work. Post-ban, I moved to Rumble, which is a YouTube competitor. Stock price has gone up 36%, and I'm at 500,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. So I'm about to surpass the size of my YouTube channel within a month. YouTube stock's down, Rumble stock's massively up. So all in all, there's other avenues, but we'll see. I certainly agree with you that what they've done to me is massively unfair. They know it's unfair. I think the reason they didn't send me any email or any confirmation of what I did wrong is because they knew they were going to end up in court, and they didn't want to be tied down to their reason. They want to stay fluid and try and make up a reason on the day. I've heard from very reliable sources that their terms of service have changed significantly post my ban. They've made up new reasons. Post-ban, they've made up a bunch of new shit. So it's going to be interesting, but certainly, yeah, there has to be legal ramifications for what they've done. I don't take it personally, but I do take it professionally. And you're right, they were wrong. I have no reason to be banned. My Instagram is just cars. It's just cars and a little bit of flexing. There's no politics. There's not even any points of view. I had no strikes. Nothing. It's just a hit piece. So
if there were betting odds, like if we did a poll, why do you think Andrew Tate was banned from all the social media platforms? And it was misogyny, right? You know, COVID stuff, against the government, against system. If you were a betting man, where would you kind of place the odds?
Oh, I already know. Everybody already knows I was banned because I talked against the Matrix. They know
the system in general.
The system in general, yeah. I mean, someone compared me to Socrates, which is a compliment, but he was vilified. He ended up poisoning himself in Athens. And the charge against him was corrupting the youth. You read about his poisoning and his arrest. They said he was corrupting the youth, but he wasn't corrupting them.
Bruh, he fought Socrates heavy.
He was inspiring them to challenge authority. He was inspiring them to think for themselves. When they were told something, instead of blindly complying, he said, look, analyze who these people are who are telling you to do X. And I even had a tweet I put out on my, I've been banned on Twitter forever. So I've been through 20 Twitter bans. I come back as undercover, whatever. But I've been saying I said often, if you have a point of view that you are very strong in your adherence to, if you truly believe something, you need to sit and analyze whether it's your own personal experience.
Chat, what's the difference between a smart man, no, a wise man, and a fool? A wise man knows he knows nothing.
That makes you believe something.
You don't know what you don't know. The level you don't know about anything is insane. If I had to explain that shit, the level you know nothing, the level where you know nothing, the level where you know that you know nothing. That awareness.
Or if someone else.
It sounds cool, but real talk. Arrogance. Like, it goes so far.
Or something else has convinced you of this. And if they have, you need to then once again analyze that point of view and analyze who these people are and what they want from you. Do they truly want the best of you?
Agenda. But if I go, I love that he mentioned Socrates. If
the news convinces you of something to the point where you're going to argue with your own family members at a dinner table.
Socrates was.
Does the news really care about you more than your family? This is a genuine question. You need to analyze every belief you hold, where it came from, and then analyze what their intentions are. And if you start to do that, you look at something like COVID, for example, it's an easy one. You look at all the bullshit they were saying, and you sit here and go, wait, these people don't care about me. If I had diabetes or I needed insulin, or I had cancer.
He had a whole sit down with the smartest of his time. And throughout his investigation and reasonings and conversations, he determined that the difference between the smart person and the fool was the smart person knows he knows nothing, while a fool thinks he knows everything.
Oh, where it came from, and then analyze what they're.
And to the level that Andrew Tate is speaking, you don't even know to the level you go that you projecting and being projected on.
Intentions are. And if you start to do that, you look at something like COVID, for example, it's an easy one. You look at all the bullshit they were saying, and you sit here and go, wait, these people don't care about me. If I had diabetes or I needed insulin, or if I had cancer.
You'll see one shit when they get it, try to be next. Ever realize that they even got a meme about it. That's how I know y'all seeing it but not seeing it. They even got a meme about everyone wants some money. Use write down what January thing was, like back in COVID age and things. So back when fidget spinners was a thing. Then next month was the crate, making that crate thing and walking on it. Every month is be a different distraction. You don't really unveil you to keep you eyes covered to what really happened.
Sir, if I got the car.
So it was more. So it was more than what you just seeing. It's like you in a box. But the whole world on the outside that you ain't seeing. You ain't even know. You don't know what you don't know. And what you don't know, don't be you right. You can't see in your reality. Okay, you got a level of self-respect, self-esteem, self-worth.
They'd be hitting me with medical bills I could never possibly afford. They'd let me die. But they are insisting I take this shot for free, on repeat. This doesn't make sense. And when you encourage people to think for themselves, especially the youth, that's what Socrates got accused of. He's corrupting the youth. And to be honest with you,
there's all right, I can show you what here referencing here now. Chat.
a huge portion of my fan base were 18 to 23, 24-year-old males. When you have the youth, the masculine youth of the world, thinking for themselves, that's pretty scary to authority. Because it's the masculine youth of the world that is, one, the revolutionaries, and two, also, that's the backbone of the slave force. If you need people to go die in a ditch in Afghanistan, you need them. If you need people to work bullshit jobs in a coal mine with no health care, you need them. If you need people to blindly comply to bullshit, you need them more than anybody. More than you need the feminists and the fucking the liberals. You need the real men to go out there and comply with the bullshit, to live a shitty existence.
Imagine them as the person holding the
The
veil.
warrior class,
This is
right?
you.
And if enough of these men stand in one place and say this is enough, that's when a revolution happens. So this is the
What you
most
see
dangerous group of the
is this
demographic
bird here.
that the Matrix and the
The
people are trying to
perception they
control,
want you
and they
to
have to
see.
have a narrative over,
From
and
the
that's
light
why they're
that
trying
they
to weaken
cast.
them in every regard.
Fake
And when I'm
enlightenment.
sitting there saying, don't
Where
listen
you
to the
think,
bullshit,
where you
become
think you
physically
know.
strong, think for yourself, prioritize your brotherhood above what the fucking Matrix is telling you. Do not blindly comply.
But if you can
Reduce,
see past
resist the
wall
slave
in
mind. All
between,
these things I'm saying, they just sat there one day and
you'll
said, wait,
see
the most popular
it for
person on
what
the
it
planet is
truly
saying, don't
is.
listen to our bullshit. Delete.
And then you just won't. You won't
Yes,
wanna.
I don't think
You
I have
wouldn't
an
wanna.
issue with somebody coming after my name,
You
saying
wouldn't
whatever they
wanna.
want to say. It's going to happen. That's a part of the game. The bigger you get, the louder you get. That's
You'll never be
whether
able
it's
to
in
see it the
business,
same because you know
theology, church, military,
that this
social
is
media.
fake.
You're going to have that happen. And all of it's
This
going to
is
happen to you.
fake.
The
This
concern
is
when
fake.
we
What's
can't have
beyond
debate.
the flame
There's nothing more
is
powerful
when
than
you
you and I having a
truly
debate.
is
You
the
know, vaccine.
true
In our
truth.
family, we sat down, we had the conversation about vaccine.
What
My
truly
dad's a
is.
conservative, 80 years old. He says, I'm going to take the vaccine, and I'm going to take the second shot, and I'm going to take a booster, and I'm going to take another booster. He went through all the boosters. The shoe was
Healthcare, you need them. If you need people to blindly comply to bullshit, you need them more than anybody. More than you need the feminists and the fucking the liberals. You need the real men to go out there and comply with the bullshit, to live a shitty existence, to purport and prop up the system.
The warrior class.
The warrior class, right? And if enough of these men stand in one place and say this is enough, that's when a revolution happens. So this is the most dangerous group of the demographic that the Matrix and the people are trying to control, and they have to have a narrative over, and that's why they're trying to weaken them in every regard. And when I'm sitting there saying, don't listen to the bullshit, become physically strong, think for yourself, prioritize your brotherhood above what the fucking Matrix is telling you, do not blindly comply, resist the slave mind, all these things I'm saying,
The
they just
slave
sat there
mind.
one day and said, wait, the most popular
People
person on the planet is saying, don't listen to our bullshit. Delete.
Yes, I don't think I have an issue with somebody coming after my name, saying whatever they want to say. It's going to happen. That's a part of the game. The bigger you get, the louder you get. That's whether it's in business, theology, church, military, social media. You're going to have that happen, and Hollywood's going to happen to you. The concern is when we can't have debate. There's nothing more powerful than you and I having a debate. You know, vaccine. In our family, we sat down, we had the conversation about vaccine. My dad's a conservative, 80 years old. He says, I'm going to take the vaccine, and I'm going to take the second shot, and I'm going to take a booster, and I'm going to take another booster. He went through all the boosters, right? And he says, but I'm doing it because of my age. I'm like, go for it. And my nanny, I'm going to do this. I'm taking this. Go for it. We had a conversation, and then we made a decision what people wanted to do. Nothing wrong with that, but to not allow that discourse to take place is a challenge. To be fair, I went on there, and I asked our research team, I said, guys, tell me everything Tate said that's pissed people off. Okay, I want to read some of this stuff.
Sure.
And, you know, some of it's rubbed some people to...
It's crazy they don't want to get rid of it because he pissed them off. So, like, that just shows you that at the drop of the public's realm or the person at top's whim, you just gone from both them. That could be the CEO, government, etc. Your imagination could carry further. At the drop of a button, a conversation, a message, an email, your whole social life could get cancelled. And whether we want to admit it or not, these here we use him more than sometimes more than here. Some people we live on our phones. Phones have become so ingrained in every part of your life that the apps on them start to have more control over you than you of the person controlling the phone. Crazy, no?
The wrong way, and some of it's offended certain people, but these are some of the things that you've said in the past
But these
before.
are
You said
brought in
it's been proven that the smartest people in the world are men. Okay,
Correct.
I think you had that with Barstool Sports, and then they came out with the Portnoy and the highest IQ, and then later on, it was proven that most of the IQ was more men than it was women.
Absolutely.
Next, I will not administer CPR until unless you're a hot female.
Yeah. So what's actually interesting is, and this is what's really, really important, because it becomes a broader argument than just me and what's happened to me. And I want to make something clear to the social media companies also as a whole. A lot of the things I said were in longer format video on YouTube 3-4 years ago. And the way that social media is being produced and also digested has changed significantly in the last year. It's all TikTok, it's all YouTube Shorts, it's all Instagram stories. TikTok in real time has destroyed the attention span of billions of people. Have you ever watched somebody on TikTok? How long do they give a video before they get bored? How long? Watch someone. Next time you see someone TikTok.
Show you exactly
Boring.
what you want to keep going down.
Boring. Yeah. Boring. Like your attention span is gone. You can no longer focus on the real world.
Spend
You can't
a
focus on anything.
delete
ADHD
TikTok.
is
Spend
being
a day back
developed
on it.
in real time from these apps,
See
right?
how quick.
So the
you go back
idea
to
of me
exactly
producing a 7-8 minute
what
video
you
like I
be
used
watching.
to, and people consuming all of it and understanding the context is gone. They'll take one few seconds, like me saying I wouldn't administer CPR to a man, for example. And it was actually satire, of course. It's a joke. I talk at length about how that's the part. That's the whole point. It's a joke. But they take that one part, they put it on a TikTok, boom, boom, boom. They add some editing, they remove the tonality, they make it interesting and funny, and it goes viral. That's fine. But the point we now live in a world where anything you ever say can be taken out of context. Anything you ever say can be weaponized against you. And I'm not complaining. I don't believe in complaining. I believe in responsibility. And I'm not saying I didn't say them. I'm not saying I didn't mean it. I'm saying that most of the people who are upset by things I've said have heard a few clips out of context and never actually digested any of my content seriously. You know, because that was part of a very long video. The idea that I would let my brother die next to me, my own brother or my friend die next to me.
Because he's not a hot chick.
Because he's not a hot chick. He's asinine. It's an A, right? But it's stupid to even believe it. But if you watch the whole video at length, that makes sense. But if you only see that, then it doesn't make sense.
You know what's crazy though? And because I'm sure you saw what Rogan said about you and the position they took when we're talking about you, and they're like, look, we need this guy because he's got to keep talking about the stuff, you know, and he's having a conversation with Brandon Schaap. I think it's Eddie, it's all these guys that are on
our friend Brian Callen.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, this guy, you know, we got to protect what he has to say. But then Jake Paul said, I don't roll with Tate. I'd love to knock his ass out. He said something like that. But then he said, but what I do support is, free speech. But then his brother said something else. His brother said, you know, the shit that Andrew Tate says will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people that won't show for years from now, and it's dangerous. Now, this is what he says,
It's
right?
Logan Paul, you're saying?
But I want to say this before you comment on it. And then Junior supported you, Tucker supported you. I think the guys that like debate and comedians, people who appreciate humor, can understand that some of the stuff you're saying is funny as hell. You could be a comedian if you wanted to, but a person has to really pay attention to the comedy. But, you know, some can run with it, some cannot run with it. When you hear the people that support and don't support you, how do you process that?
So first things first, I want to get very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely and utterly a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything, and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain him.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved to himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says. Logan Paul is a man, if you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, whether it's Lil Nas twerking on the devil, whether it's this, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view that the whole Hollywood establishment want him to report. He doesn't believe in the things he said. He's told what to say. And because he was canceled before and it emotionally destroyed him, He sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl instead of being a man about it. He is so fearful of the mob, so scared of being canceled again, that he's going to sit there and say anything he's told. He doesn't believe that shit. Before I was canceled, him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was, tagging me on Instagram, inviting me places, etc. Second I'm canceled, they flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't want to get canceled too. They are children. That's all they are. So Logan Paul's a bitch. That's the first thing about Logan Paul. And what's actually been interesting about this whole cancellation thing is it hasn't negatively affected me in any serious way because I've been saying on podcasts for years, I know a cancellation is coming. I knew it was coming. I knew that as I got more popular and more powerful to a degree that it was going to come. But what it has done is it has awoken the world, to anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention, to learn which individuals out here in the social media space actually have character and believe what they say, and which are completely bought and sold and are tools to the matrix. The people who have decided to stand up for me and say, no, this is bullshit, are people who have, to some degree, credibility. You know, this is people who say what they truly believe. But the people who are totally a fan and then post-cancellation shit themselves in 180 and to get a new piece of paper to talk from, that should tell out the public out there exactly who's controlled and whether these people have a genuine narrative that they're trying to report on the world. And it's interesting. Logan's one of them, and there's a few others. But I'm glad it happened just for that alone, because it's actually very clear. If you go to Logan Paul's last podcast where he's discussing me, all of his fans, and we'll talk about fans and viewers in a minute because I think they're very different things. All of his fans, which he has none of, all of his viewers, saying, bro, you're a fucking bitch. Like everyone, all of his own watchers are calling him names because it's so transparent and so obvious what he's doing.
Fans versus viewers.
Fans versus viewers, very different things. So he doesn't have any fans. He has viewers. And Susan and the Matrix and the people in charge of the social media companies are like, okay, we've set our media machine. Let me ask you guys questions as professionals. Let's assume, as professionals, let's assume what I'm saying is correct. Let's assume that the social media companies, when they banned me, set their media machine to all release thousands of news articles at the same time, trying to convince the world I'm an evil man. If they had that degree of power and influence, which I think we can all probably agree they do, don't you think they'd take their number one talking piece to the demographic, which is my fan, and give him a piece of paper and tell him what to say? Does that all make sense? Does that make sense to say, well, we told all the news to say Tate's bad, and all of his fans are 18 to 25-year-old men. Who do we have on YouTube who obeys us like a little cock, who speaks to 18 to 25-year-old men? Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. You want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. He 180 from a super fan to just talking about my rhetoric being dangerous in 24 hours.
There's a difference between you saying who you think he is versus you making the speculation that he got called by somebody to say, here's a narrative we want you to take, or else we'll silence you.
Well, Logan is not capable of independent thought. So if someone didn't give him the narrative, he didn't think it up himself. The dude's an empty vessel. He says what he is told to say. Somebody, somewhere, told Logan what to say and what stance to take. We can argue whether it was a social media company, whether it was his manager who was fearful, whether whatever. But somebody sat with Logan and said, look, Tate's getting a lot of smoke. You were cool with him. Your boyfriend Mike was cool with him. He's getting a lot of smoke right now. You're going to bitch out. He sat there and said, yes, sir. Yes, I will. Because he has no character or no integrity. If it was all the other way around, let's imagine he was getting canceled, and I truly believed it was unfair, I'd sit there on my own platform and say, this is bullshit, because I'm not bought, sold, and owned. He's an owned individual. So he's always going to say what he is told to say. He's always going to sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth. Because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought. He has no character as a man. That's who Logan Paul is.
Now, you said he got canceled in the past. I don't think he ever got canceled. I think his channel was demonetized for 90 days, but they kept all this stuff up. He was never taken fully down like you were fully taken down. They just kind of demonetized.
This is for the Japanese.
This is when he did the Japanese video where apparently he went to a place where
you commit suicide in Japan.
Right. Yeah, I'm not completely familiar with the absolute mechanics of his cancellation. All I do know is that he cried on television repeatedly. So the dude was obviously emotionally affected by it and is fearful of it. When someone is scared of something, that's the tool you use to manipulate them.
Well,
he is scared of being canceled.
Because when this happened to you, you're 35 years old, right? You're a grown man. I know you like to joke. I'm an old man. I mean, you're in literally your prime, bro.
Correct.
When that happened to him, he was 23 years old.
Correct.
Right? This was 5 years ago. I think he's 27 now, 22, whatever. You've had a lot more life experiences and been in fights, literally, proverbially, all that, versus someone who's 23. I can see where you're coming from, being like he's been groomed by this virtual government, these digital media companies.
He needs them.
He needs them. He's become a mouthpiece of them. Is
He's
what
a
you're saying.
mouthpiece of them, and he needs them. And you're right. He was younger at the time. I would like to think that Patrick has been through a much harder situation in his life at younger than 23 than cancellation and wasn't crying his eyes out like a little girl. So the dude's obviously emotionally soft. He needs them. And the reason he needs them is because Logan Paul doesn't have fans, he has viewers. And that's what's actually been highlighted to me significantly since my banning, that there's a massive difference between those two things. Logan Paul is a person who needs the platforms and needs the algorithms, and people will watch him, but they will sit there and most of them will call him names, but he will have views. That's different than having fans. When you have fans, like me, for example, when I got canceled, they say, where's Tate? Where is he? I'll go anywhere he is. I'll download any app. I'll uninstall the other apps. I'll take his content and post it on the platforms they don't want him on. Where is Tate? That's a fan. And that's different. When you only have viewers, you need the algorithm. I don't need the algorithm. As long as people know where I am, they're going to come. And it's a completely different scenario.
Whose playbook you think he's following? If you were to say that, because isn't that the Hollywood playbook? Like you follow that playbook, and as long as you, because that's what you're speculating. He's following the playbook up. You follow our narrative, we're going to give you the world.
I think that since the dawn of human time, anybody who had power understood that it was a particular demographic which is going to become dangerous to their power mechanism in the future. It's not a new idea. The idea that the Romans would conquer a Greek city and kill all the boys, all the military-age males, it's always been the same, right? Who's going to cause us trouble if we want to hold this city? These guys. We'll get rid of them. So nowadays, I think what they're trying to do is neuter this class. Trying to neuter.
We gonna go finish this next week. Not next week. Friday. You know, go off in this is a different day. Might as well work. I work in the morning. Yo, sling slap.